Alright, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I'm gonna have to say that my mum is probably the most propagandized person I've ever met in my entire life. It's insane. like, it's like you're speaking to the television. Like, the media has done an absolute fucking job on her. I tell you what, she now reminds me of someone who would just turn on their family in like Russia in Stalinist Russia. Like, she'd be drinking vodka or something and we'd have an argument and I'd be saying, no, communism isn't the way to go. And she'd be like, how could you speak about our great leader Stalin like that? And then we get into a huge argument. I go to bed, I fall asleep, and then in the middle of the night, I wake up because I'm getting dragged out of my bed. I get dragged through the house, down the steps of the apartment in St. Petersburg. 4 guys are carrying me towards a van, and I look at the top of the stairs, and there's Mum smoking a dart, just going, he's very dangerous. He's got dangerous ideas. I'm like, Mum! I swear to God, she'd sell me out so quick. It's crazy. She was even going on about how they're repealing some fucking Maori laws in New Zealand, but she was saying it like she's happy about it. For starters, she knows nothing about the Maori laws in New Zealand, but she was happy about it for some reason. And then I had to remind her that her mother was part Maori and she has Maori land. She has the deeds to some Maori land. I'm like, you wouldn't want that to be repealed, would you? She's like, actually, no. I've got to send an email out to them soon as well because I want to sell that land. I'm like, fuck. This is unbelievable. It's not even usable land. I looked it up on Google Satellite fucking like 10 years ago because I saw the deeds and I was like, oh, I'll check out where it is. And it's like a square of trees down the bottom of the North Island about 100 kilometers away from a road. So it's not usable land. I don't know who she's going to sell it to. And she's like, well, if worse comes to worse, I can just move out on it. I'm like, it's down the bottom of the fucking North Island of New Zealand. There's no roads and it's like minus fucking 20 degrees out there. It's crazy. It is crazy. So apparently Mum rocked up on, and I haven't said anything. I haven't even mentioned it. But apparently my mum rocked up on Thursday and she's lucky I had a fucking gig. She is very goddamn lucky I was out at a gig. But apparently she turned up after driving from Port Macquarie fucking absolutely fucking hammered and was just being an annoying cunt. But I missed it all, so I didn't say anything. And I'm glad I didn't say anything because she's been sweet since. But she definitely would turn me over to the Gestapo, that's for sure. Well, not the Gestapo in this case, but you know what I mean. The secret police. No worries. I did have something I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember fucking what. I had a pretty enjoyable gig on Thursday. It was a rough one. Like, that crowd was absolutely fucking dead. Like, they were not laughing at anything. But I got on at the end of the night. I was the last one on. And no one was getting laughs. And I managed to wring a few out of them with this new material I've got that I've been tinkering with and adding more jokes to. And I figured it out. All you need to do in comedy is add more jokes. Like, wherever you can, you just put more jokes in. That's how you do it. Instead of just being happy with a little bit of premise and a punchline, try and cram a few more punchlines in there. So it was a good test as well because the crowd was completely flat. Like, they were not laughing at anything. And my material, this particular material is right on the edge. And it's at a place where half the people are like full on woke and the other half are full on LGBTQIA. And the other demographics are just like asexual, young, shocked, easily riled. So it was not my demographic. That's why I like doing this place. It's harder for me because I'm not the natural person they would like to see. Like that, the people that go to this place would never ever come and see me. But I go on at the end of the night. Every time I go, I just go on at the end. And depending on how I feel, I do anywhere between like 10 and 25 minutes. But it's a good gauge for my material because they instantly don't really like me. I'm not the type of guy they would ever go see. The material I'm doing is like pretty dodge. And so if I get any laughs out of them, it's a good indicator that the material's strong. And I'm not doing that many gigs. I'm doing like one a week just to keep the rust off. And then like every month or so, I do 2 a week. But I've managed to put together like, it seems like between 8 and 10 minutes of new material. Like proper new material. And I'm not actually that rusty. I think the podcast has a lot to do with it. Because I just jump on stage and I suppose there's low stakes because like it doesn't matter, which also helps, but I'm still getting a little bit nervous beforehand because I'm trying new material and shit like that. So it's not completely zero stakes. And when the material's working, it's been good. It's good to get this new material. I don't know how I've managed to do it, but I have. And there's enough like tangents and open ends in this 10 minutes I've got where I can probably add some more, stretch it out and get a good 20. So it actually hasn't been a complete fucking write-off the last 6 months. I mean, I probably want a little bit more than 10 minutes in 6 months, but it's been quite a while since I've developed a new 10 minutes like this that is good. I think it's decent. It's challenging to do, which makes it exciting for me to do. So when I go on stage, I'm like, all right, cool, I get to do this. Because a big problem with comedy is like, you get some material and then eventually you start hating it. But it works. So if you're lazy, you just hold on to it. And then you begin resenting yourself, the material, the crowd, and everyone. And then you blame everyone but yourself. All you need to do is write some new material, but instead you just hate everyone, the whole world, and yourself. Anyway, that wasn't what I wanted to talk about, but that's the update. I'm kind of motivated to start doing a few more gigs as well. Now that I've got this little bit of material, I reckon I can turn it into 20 pretty quickly. If I spent like maybe 2 hours just thinking about it, I could open up so many different fucking avenues, but I probably won't do that for another year. So anyway, that'll fucking do it for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.